I am standing outside my teenage son's door, and you guys are going to come along with me today and help me transform it into something more age appropriate. What is up, you guys? My name is Kira if you are new, and in today's video I am back to share with you a room transformation. So my son is going to be 17 in a couple of days, and Jacob is already visiting with my parents in New York. So while he wasn't here, I thought this was a great time for us to go inside of his room and kind of revamp it. I expected at his age bracket for him to take a little bit more interest in his room, unpack his boxes from when we moved here, and give his room a little bit more personality. But Jake's just kind of plain Jane. Like, he's not really into that stuff. He could care less if his closet was full of boxes and his room wasn't decorated. Like, that's just not his thing. He'll love it all done, but doing it himself, just again, not his thing. So mom took it on. I took on the challenge, and I'm gonna go inside and I'm going to revamp this kid's entire room, and I'm gonna give him something other than what Jake put together, which was throwing all of his furniture and his things into his room when we first moved here and closing the door. So we're gonna make things smart looking, and we're really gonna set him up for success. This is his senior year, so I want him to have a desk and a nice space to be able to work. I want him to feel age appropriate and like he's coming into his life, and he's about to graduate and become a man and go to college, and he's gonna get a job when he comes home. And so there's just a lot of things that I want Jake to feel like he's coming into a room that matches his personality and his lifestyle right now. So we're gonna go inside this door. I'm gonna share with you the before and then the after. All right, you guys, so here is day one of Jake's little room makeover. So we're gonna open the door and I'm gonna share with you my son's room. Now, I have been in here a couple of times since he's left to go away, and I've already stripped down all of his sheets and washed all of his bedding, and I did all of his laundry that he had left over, and everything is clean and stacked up on the dresser right there, because I wanna start off with the bed. I feel like the bed is going to be the key to making this room usable. When you walk in here, you feel like this kid has such a tiny room, right? Because it doesn't look like he has very much space of anywhere. He has this little tiny gap right here, not a lot of space right here, and just a little space over there. So the room looks overwhelming, and I feel like it looks small. And I tried to explain to Jacob that maybe getting rid of his headboard would make the most sense. He doesn't really use it smart anyways. It usually just ends up being trash collecting. Like, I see a hot cocoa thing from Christmas right there. I see a lollipop. There's a random Pokemon card. Like, he doesn't use this in the way that he should, so it is taking up too much space to not be utilized properly. So what I think I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean all of that off. I'm going to get my Wood for Good method spray. I'm going to wipe it and polish it all down. I'm going to take the mattress and box spring out and clean out anything that's underneath his bed and vacuum. And I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to throw it up on Facebook Market and see if I can get someone to take it up and out of here. And if I can, my plan is to take his bed and put it into the corner in this part of the room. So his head would go along here, and then the bed would come along the wall. That would give me tons of space. I can move this little thing that he has next to him, so he has like a little nightstand, and the desk can come here to the bottom with his chair. If that doesn't work and the chair gets in the way of the closet, I'll kind of revamp a little bit, but I'm thinking that it's not going to be in the way and that I'm still going to be able to fit it like I planned. I won't know until I flip things around, so I'm not getting out a measuring tape. I think I pretty much have a better visual. So if I can get his bed to come here, I can put his desk here at the end, give him his little bit of a nightstand. I'll take this little plastic drawer thing and I can move it over here, and we can set all of this stuff up, and then all of this needs to go away into his closet, because this kid has still not unpacked. Like, I love him dearly, but we're talking boxes. Do you see this? Boxes, boxes, boxes. No other room looks like this, okay? Because we've all done it. This is my son's idea of unpacking his room. So I mean, he did put his board games away. I'm proud of him there. That was a good use of space, but I mean, this is kind of ridiculous, honestly, like the way that he has this set up. If I can get all of this worked out and have a place for everything, then I can put his laundry bin, like he has his laundry bin right there. That's just taking up space. I can put it in his closet where he's not utilizing the floor space properly and things like that. And I mean, these things, like I have baskets and bins that I can use, or, you know, maybe we can get a shelving unit that we can put in here in the closet just to give him a little bit more space for a lot of these things. But I don't even know like what is in this stuff. Like I'm not even sure. Look, gift bags from like when is this? It has, I don't even know. I'm not even sure. Valentine's Day. He doesn't even know what this stuff is. Look at this. I don't even know. A bathing suit and a bag. What is that even from? That needs to be washed. Do you see what I'm saying? He's such a boy. And he's a teenager. And it is what it is. So I really want to make his room look like something for when he gets home. But the first place to start is to give us a little bit more space to work with. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to clean all of that off. I'm going to wipe everything down. I'm going to take a picture and get it up on Facebook Market. And then I'll, you know, be able to continue to keep going from there.
If I could hear my father's voice, he would tell me to move on. He would say I'll be just fine. Yeah, he would tell me we have time, time to laugh and time to heal. Our favorite song is on repeat, drinking wine until the dawn, knowing soon we'll be back home. Ooh, I'm thinking about you. Ooh, I'm wishing that you knew. That I'm thinking about you. I see that smile on your face. You told me about the hidden place, something in the atmosphere. You're always here, you always here. Time to laugh and time to heal. My favorite song is on repeat, drinking wine until the dawn, knowing soon we'll be back home. Ooh, I'm thinking about you.
Alright, you guys, so this is day 2 of my little remodel for Jake's room, and everything is completely out and empty, and I just vacuumed everything. I really want to wash the carpet, but I don't know if I'm going to have time because I'm leaving for my mom's in a couple of days and I'm really in a rush to get everything done, and I need to kind of load everything back in here tonight so that I can close the door on this room and let it be done. And I don't know if I'll have time for the floor to dry, but everything is finished. I showed you guys the closet all set up and done. So now I just have to start moving things around and playing with things. I'm actually gonna measure, because I'm not gonna bring his bed in, or maybe I'll just bring in his mattress and lay it on the floor so I can get a visual, and then once I'm done setting everything up, I'll bring the frame in and set that up. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think I'm gonna bring his bed and box spring in here, and then I'll be able to start moving things around, laying things out, and deciding where I want everything to go. All right, you guys, so I left you with an empty room, and now I'm gonna share with you the grand reveal. Now, as always, there's always a few things that I still want to do, but for now, I think we have definitely transitioned his room. So here's a quick little overview of what we turned his room into. Like, I could not be any more happy with how this room turned out, especially if you guys remember exactly what this room just looked like before we started. There was no walkway. I mean, you walked in and you banged your legs on the bed that he had the large headboard that was just coming out. So I feel like this is definitely the most versatile. Let me flick the light on a little bit. I mean, it's bright out right now and this is yellow lighting, but it's still better than nothing. So I'll turn this way, and this is where most of like the little things that still have to be done. Jake doesn't have a stand for like his Xbox, his DVD player, all of that kind of stuff. If you guys know me, you know I absolutely hate wires, so all of that is driving me crazy. And his bed was mounted with the idea that his headboard originally was against this wall, facing this way. So I did go online and order Jake a swivel mount. So it'll come while I'm gone, and that'll be one of the things that Daryl does when he comes back before I come home, is he'll go ahead and put up the swivel mount for it to be able to turn so that Jake can see it in the bed, which will be fine. We're gonna save this mount because eventually the kids are gonna be in their own room. So we'll need a mount for, you know, whoever takes the second room. And we had a big shelf in our laundry room that went all the way across the laundry room. That's where I used to keep all of my detergents before we put the cabinets in. If you guys missed my laundry makeover, I'll link it up above for you guys, but we're gonna go ahead and take that shelf. We're using some of it in the laundry room, which I'll share with you guys in another video. But for now, Paul's gonna cut the shelf in half and mount it right under here so he can tuck some of these wires behind, and we'll be able to put his Xbox here and his DVD player and stuff and get this up off the floor. So the mount for the TV and the shelf is something that the guys are gonna work on while I'm gone. And the previous homeowners had a mount here as well, and they didn't fix any of the holes before we moved in. So Paul's gonna come in now that we finally have a good paint match, and he's gonna spackle all the holes. Like you can see, they put curtains in and just removed the brackets and never did anything with that. So he's gonna come in and spackle and paint and kind of touch everything up, and they'll work on, you know, streamlining this so it's a little bit nicer. I threw Jake's fan here for now. He may want to pull it closer to him, but the ceiling fan in here is pretty strong. And now that his bed's repositioned, I think he'll be a little bit cooler. I did go ahead and set his dresser up. He had this thing like a hot mess. You couldn't even see it over here. So I hung up 2 of his Miami Dolphins signs that he already had. And then this is a little moonlight that I set up for him. And then these, there's water in there and they glow different colors, and the water bubbles up to the beat of the music. I'm not going to put music on right now, but those are ready to go. I don't have them all plugged in. You can see the plug down there is not plugged in, but some things need extension cords, so that's something else that Daryl said he's going to work on. Like another thing is these emoji lights. I bought these for Jake years ago. I don't even know for what, Christmas or something, and that's where the little cord to plug it in is going to go. So Daryl needs to run some extension cords. I have Jake's little plants here. This is one that grew and it flowered, but then the flowers died, so now he just has a bulb. So that should come back up in the spring. This is what I got him for Easter. It's an aloe plant and he never did anything with it, so I set it up for him. And then that's his succulent plant that I got him for Valentine's Day, I think, and it's doing really well. And the light from this window is phenomenal. And you can see that our neighbors, they have no windows on this side of the house, and their chairs are even put up, like flipped upside upside down because they're never in their backyard. So unless Jake's in his window and my neighbors are staring through in the backyard, he has free range. So he doesn't even drop the blinds. He gets great light in this room, and it's been, you know, wonderful for his plants. So it'll be nice when the emoji lights are up, but for now I didn't even mess with the blinds because, like I said, I think that he gets great light in here. I set up a little nightstand for him. This used to be mine, and then I gave it to Mason, then it went to Jake, then it went back to Mason, now it's back to Jake. But I set up just a little picture frame here. That's actually Jake as a baby, and it's one of his favorite pictures. So I always put it out for him. He has a candle here from the Dollar Tree and just his little tornado thing. And then in the back there, I have all of his box sets of movies. And then this is the basket of electronic stuff that I found, you guys. Like power banks and headphones, chargers of all kinds that aren't even used yet. Like so much stuff. So I put all of his electronic stuff in a basket right there for him. And then I set up his alarm clock. I got a little charger set up for him already there. I set up a little lamp from the Dollar Tree. And then I put his bed here for now. Now it's not on a frame. I sold his headboard and I gave the woman the frame, and I gave her the wrong stinking frame. I gave her the frame that's supposed to be in here right now, as opposed to the one that actually went with the headboard. The guys weren't home. I gave her the wrong one. So she's supposed to be coming back, bringing the one that goes to this bed right now, and then she'll be taking the ones that go attached to his headboard. So right now the box spring and mattress is just on the floor, but once the lady drops that off, that's something that the guys can work on while I'm gone. That's a puzzle that my mom made for Jake, and they framed it, and they have this saying, I love you to the moon and back. That's what my mom always says to the kids. And Jake and my mom have a super special relationship because we still lived on the island when Jake was little. Daryl and I worked constantly, and my mom helped take care of him. She watched him a lot, where the little kids were born not in the state. So even though my mom has a special relationship with all of the kids, she has an extra special relationship with Jake just because she helped raise him. You know, Daryl and I lived in the apartment for a couple of years up above her when Jake was first born, and she really just kind of helped us out. So they always have this little thing, and she buys him everything that says that. So that's a little sign that actually lights up. Battery operated, has a little switch in the back. It says I love you to the moon and back. That's an ornament that says the same thing. She had this made for him this past Christmas. So I kind of set up a little shrine to that. Another thing that I ordered that you guys haven't seen yet, because obviously it didn't come, but that's something that they'll be working on while I'm gone, and then Jake will finish it up. But I ordered one of those things that hang that you put stuffed animals in. Jake is obsessed with stuffies. I'll show you guys that in a second. Some he actually sleeps with on his bed. I just wouldn't let him take a million to my mother's, but some he'll want to put like in that thing. So they'll hang it for me in that corner, and he'll have a place to hang his little stuffies. And then I set up his desk over here. I put a garbage pail for him, and then the desk is kind of set up for him to do both things. I need to find a thumbtack. I didn't want to put a nail in the wall just to hang up his calendar, but I mean, gosh, we're halfway through the year and he hasn't even hung up the calendar. So I'm gonna hang it up for him right here so he has it at his desk. And then that's a little magnifying light with like a stand so that you can use it when you're trying to put small beads onto like a string or something. And down there are all of his beads. So if he wants to be working on making any of his jewelry or anything, he can use the magnifying light and bring the bin up and work in his space. And then he can put everything back in the bin and tuck it underneath and still be able to use the desk as a workspace for school. This is his senior year. So I needed to set him up for success. Like I said, this needs to be like a big boy's room. He's 17 now, so he needs to have that all set up. And when I was showing my mom, she brought up a really good point. So I am going to go and flip these things. So I have some of his short pants hung here. I have like belts, ties, umbrellas, costumes, all of that hung here. I have some extra blankets, and then in his laundry basket right here are all of those stuffies. Like I said, I mean, he literally has a zillion of them. So he's going to have to go through his laundry basket, decide what of his stuffies he wants down here on the bed, and then the rest he can put in that little hangy thing. He sleeps with all of those blankets. There was just no reason for me to make the bed to share with you guys that. So this will be all cleaned up and streamlined when he gets home. But being that the chair is in the way of the door a little bit, I feel like I should put his shirts here. My mom suggested that, and I was like, wow, that's a heck of a lot smarter. His shirts hang longer, and there's more space over here, like the pants are shorter. So you'll see when we open this side that I should have put the pants over here, because I have this little plastic thing where he has all his extra desk supplies, because this isn't like the kind of desk you can load up with supplies. So I have all of his extra like pens and pencils and everything in the top one, and then extra binders and Pokemon cards and all of that kind of stuff are in the middle one, and then down below are like reading books and all of that kind of stuff. So I have that accessible for when he's sitting here, he could just open the closet door. I have this little Miami Dolphins bin right here that has all of his extra sheets and pillowcases and stuff, but you can see that all of this is longer. So I probably should put his pants here so that it hangs shorter, and he's gonna need that less. Like, I feel like his shirts will be something he needs to access more, especially since his dresser has like shorts, which is what we spend most of the time wearing, and that's in his dresser. So I'm gonna end up flip-flopping, but you guys aren't gonna see that because I don't know if I'm gonna do that before I leave or not, but I am going to end up just flip-flopping the closet to make it a little bit more convenient for him to, you know, get his right clothes out of the easier side to access. So I will do that, and then I just have his board games and stuff up there, and I did leave some stuff in a box up there, like personal collectible items that he'll need to make a decision on his own what he wants to keep, what's like garage sale kind of stuff, what he doesn't want anymore, and then whatever, if he wants to display them, we'll have to maybe put like a shelf along here or something with some displays. But he does have a Polaroid camera, so I hung this little thing up here for him so that he can slip little Polaroid pictures that he's been taking on vacation. He brought his camera with him, so he can come back, and any Polaroids that he took, he can just go ahead and slip in there for a display. And then I hung Jake's little framed picture, and this is so important to him. He just loves this because this says all of the trendy books, movies, sports, news highlights that happened on the day he was born. So he absolutely loves this. Every single one of the kids have one, and they're all framed and hung in their room. So he was excited to get that hung on the wall. And then that is it, you guys. I did ask the guys to clean the fan for me while I'm gone, but I left them a list of all the things that they need to do, the things that they need to work on. I even made a note that they need to come in and water plants and what they'll need to hang up and tweak and paint and stuff in here. But I am really, really happy. I've already FaceTimed Jake, and he is so super excited about his big boy room now. Like, I feel like he's gonna come home to a nice, mature teenage room. All right, you guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. I can't get over the difference. It's night and day, and I am excited for him to come home and live in this room. He's gonna be able to walk into it, and he could turn around in the room. Like, he couldn't even stand in his room before and spin around in a circle. Like, there was no room for that. He's going to be able to feel mature in this room, have a nice space to work, and, you know, like I said, feel like a grown-up on the dawning. So I'm really excited, and I know he will be too. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. Subscribe if you are new. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.